Are people always all up in your business? Where do you draw the line? Do you draw the line anywhere?
Wolftelligence!
Welcome back to the podcast. My name is R.E. In this episode, where do you draw the line? This will be an interesting one. First of all, where do you draw the line between yourself and the outside world? Do you know when you are fine and when you are not fine? Do you mistake something that you are going through with something that somebody else is going through? With something that the world is going through? A lot of times, we are feeling things that aren't even our emotions, our energy. It's coming from the world around us, but we don't always have the ability to discern this because we haven't practiced. We haven't practiced being aware of our energy, and I didn't even used to believe that any of this energy stuff really existed. It really came to me when I started reading these Paul Selig books, these channeled works. I started realizing there was more to me than I ever could have imagined. There was more energy to me, and it really gave me this question in my mind of where do I draw the line? Where do I draw the line between myself and other people? Do you set firm boundaries? Do you know when somebody has crossed the line? When do you know somebody has crossed the line? Would you tell them? Would you even tell yourself? These are interesting questions just to think about, introspect, ponder upon. But do you think that people are always up in your space? Do you feel claustrophobic? Do you feel like you need some space? Or do you feel like you are set your boundaries? Where do you draw the line? Here's going to get pretty deep now. Do you believe that we're all separate? Do you believe that there are boundaries that are keeping us apart? Or do you think that we're all interconnected, that we're intertwined, that do you believe in unity, that we're all one with the divine? Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw this line? Do you draw any lines? Do you just identify with yourself as the entire universe and that, whatever goes, goes, and you're one of those people that just flows along? I honestly don't know. I'm just saying this as poetry or as to get you thinking, to get you to introspect. I'm not really sure if one is better, quote unquote, better or worse than the other, whether you have lines or whether you don't have lines. I think that drawing lines is something that the ego does to try to protect itself, and you definitely want to protect yourself, but at the same time, drawing lines in a violent nature is, I don't even know, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but there's many lines. There's many lines you could draw. The line between truth and illusion. Do you know what is true and what is illusion? A lot of things that you may think are true will turn out to be illusions, and you might think it's funny, but if you're too serious about life, you might think that there's something wrong about that or something crazy or sad, but there's a lot more illusion than you can ever imagine. Life is the grand magic trick. It's always being performed in front of us, and people can't really explain how it's going. I mean, some people try to explain it through science, but they won't really get anywhere. And what about the line between right and wrong? You think that people are wrong from your perspective. Until you can see a bigger perspective, you can't really draw this absolute line between right and wrong. Sure, there are things that we can all agree are wrong. There are things that we can all agree are right, but I'm not sure that in like a higher dimension and a higher octave, when it's all just unconditional love, and I'm getting a little out there now, talking about higher octaves, I'm not sure in those situations where they really have a right and wrong. But I might be wrong about that. Again, got to know when you're right or wrong. I definitely could be wrong, and I don't cling to this viewpoint. But one thing that's important, it's important to have a strong moral compass, something that grounds you from inside. You need to know what's right and wrong for you. Not to judge other people, say that they can do whatever they want, but for you, know what's right or wrong for you to make decisions. And I let love guide me. Now, I used to have fear guide me. That was the wrong guide. That was the wrong moral compass. But now my inner compass, my values, authenticity, love, light, peace, these are my compass. These are my guide. These are my North Star to help me make decisions, to help me know where to draw the line or to not draw any lines. So answer this question for me. Where do you draw the line? Do you draw any lines? Where?